Fiji Coral Coast 7's, Olympic gold medalist, Olympic bronze medalist, World Cup winners, World Rookie Nominee of the Year for one of the best young players, the best of the best on display as Matakesi out of Bay of Plenty in Aotearoa, New Zealand, take on Mount Masada, effectively the Fijiana shadow team. This is all the national squad members, the faces that you know. And on this Matakesi team, there's some familiar ones there. Teresa Setefano, Olympic gold medalist and World Cup winner, captaining the side. I'm Ricky Swanell. Sarah Nangama is alongside me. What are you picking?
Oh, it's really hard. I'm really backing Mount Masada to get this job done, but they get equally matched with talent, skill, and experience. Regardless, both teams have fought it out really hard to earn themselves a finals berth.
Matakesi with New Zealand squad members, New Zealand development players, and Black Ferns full internationals as we're underway in the women's final. It's Mount Masada in the blue and Matakesi in the pink and yellow of their club, headed up by Sarah Hirini, the great New Zealand captain. Sure, sitting at home, and there's probably a few at the Flying Mullet and Papamoa watching this one.
It's been a really fast start here, but Matakesi have the first opportunity to try and strike a play out of set piece. Mount Masada trying to force the ball back, but just wasn't meant to be.
So Maya Davis, a young rising talent in New Zealand, feeds the scrum and they get the penalty. Mount Masada not pushing straight. So here's Sheree Kaka working in the centre for Matakesi and ghosting almost around the outside. Good tackle made by Toroti. Olive Watherston. As the power's gone out in some parts of the stadium, so away we go as the thunder and lightning will carry on watching. As Kelsey Tanetti goes forward for Matakesi, now looking to break forward. Matakesi powering away as Dice Faliafunga for Matakesi up over the 22, just dragged down by Mount Masada. Back they come out to the right now, lots of numbers here for Matakesi. Penalty, here's Sheree Kaka, taps and goes herself. Tenetti, she's got Leoshan Mau with brilliant hands on the outside. Leoshan Mau with the first score in the final.
That was just such brilliant stuff from Matakesi. Sheree Kaka showing us all of her experience, opts for the quick tap, and is able to distribute the ball to the far right edge. There was some work to do, but they got it done. Matakesi have the lead. What a way for Matakesi to insert themselves in this cup final between themselves and Mount Masada.
So it's Matakesi with first points in the final. As the restart is grubbing along and a big shot comes in. Bouncing out of it though, there's Olive Watherston, and it's that power athlete, Vani Buleki. She's so strong and just shrugged off Watherston, who came at her, but the ball back in field from Mount Masada has fallen into Matakesi hands, and that allows them to attack again. Here's Kaka again in the middle, running through puddles and almost getting through too. Needs some support as Mount Masada try to blow over the top and concede the penalty. Great defence. Here goes Tale Wilson. And now Eunice Bessie keeping the ball alive is Mount Masada. Brilliant bit of skill in the hands, are wonderful from Eunice Bessie. She's such a powerhouse runner, a brilliant athlete. The ball back in field was superb, and Eunice Bessie strikes back for Mount Masada.
We've spoken about how this team is essentially the shadow side for the Fiji women's national sevens, and their experience really coming to the fore. Eunice Bessie, she's been an outstanding finisher for her side. String of passes there that were fortunate to meet the hands, particularly in these wet conditions. But if there's one thing we can count on is Bessie knows how to finish, and that she does extremely well.
So Mount Masada restart. Oh, it's good hands, but doesn't quite connect Davis and Mau on the way back. And now Taneti has to scramble. Oh, straight up the middle now. There was a big open space for Kaka. Chasers coming across. Up over halfway, Sheree. Kaka gets the ball away for Kelsey Taneti. Mercy's going to come across and chase her, as is Wilson. They're not going to get Kelsey Taneti. And Matakesi strike back.
Oh, Sheree Kaka has been so influential for Matakesi in this opening half. She's able to just draw defenders to her. A lot of these players know exactly what she's capable of. But that is offload to Kelsey Taneti was impeccably timed. Talk about finals. This is certainly one that we have here on our hands. Two very experienced sides, very familiar with each other.
Oh, that is some conversion from Maya Davis out wide. Matakesi go back in front. 12 points to 7. And that's a clever tactic.
Yes, give some breathing space for Mount Masada, who have struggled to have any kind of possession. They're stuck deep in Matakesi's attacking 22, but set piece accuracy will pay great dividends, particularly as they look to get out of this red zone.
Man, these conditions are tough. We talked about it all weekend about how hot and humid, and now it is hammering down as Olive Watherson brings in the overthrow. That crept up over the shoulders. Referee's got advantage, but Watherson crashes over. Great strength from a small player, and she sweeps away. The Matakesi sweep as another try for Matakesi.
Conditions are one thing to play in. It's wet, it's slippery. Mount Masada had an opportunity there to try and get out, particularly when it was their own attacking line out, but mishandling in the air ultimately fell into the hands of Olive Watherson, who is, again, so small in stature, but she's so powerful, she just pumps her legs and dives over.
So conversion no good this time for Matakesi, so it's 17 points to 7. The ball kids are having a whale of a time as well. They all want to run on the field and have a dive and a chase after it. In this final, it's Matakesi leading Mount Masada 17 points to 7. So we edge towards half-time. Maya Davis again bags it downfield, cleverly trapped by Miriula Turoti. Great to see her back in full flight as well. Brilliant hands from Wilson, and then releasing down this left edge. Almost getting away and dragged in with some more superb defence.
That was a huge defensive play from Kelsey Taneti. Some nice handling there from Wilson to find the players on the edge, but we now go into halftime.
Well, it was Meradani Goro who got away almost. Made her debut on the World Series last season, but as we go into halftime, it is Matakesi leading 17 points to 7 over Mount Masada at halftime in the women's final. Matakesi leading 17-7. They scored first through Yoshim Mau. And then it was wonderful Eunice Bese, nominee for World Rugby Rookie of the Year last season. She struck back before two quick tries for Matakesi, Kelsey Tinetti and Olive Watherston to give them the 17-7 lead as we get the second half underway. Second half underway as the ball rolls into touch from the kickoff for Matakesi. 10-point buffer is not a lot in sevens, but in these conditions might be helpful, Sarah.
Oh, it certainly will be. There's a mountain that Masada certainly have to climb to try and stay in this fight, but getting out of their own 22 will help because Matakesi, again, they're just absolutely punishing them when they're in this zone.
Toroti looks to find her target, and she does in the middle of that line out for Mount Masada. Ukufeva it was. Playing in front of their own goal line is Wilson. Here's Vani Bulicki, and she is some athlete, but she's rounded upon by Tinetti, even though that's a penalty against Matakesi. Bulicki again, no way through. Toroti with her dancing feet, a danger woman for sure. Some of these Mount Masada players will be off to the World Series in Perth next week. Toroti, tap and go for Bulicki. Hits the turf as the water flies up, and again Matakesi penalised.
The string of penalties is certainly not helping them as they invite Mount Masada back into this game.
Tap and go quickly. This looks more promising for Mount Masada. Offload there for Bessie. She's able to get the ball away on that edge for Meredani Goro, and she's got plenty of gas. Speed to burn, Meredani Goro, former sprinter, and showing all of that to get Mount Masada back into it.
That is the way you'd want to clap back in this second half, particularly when your team is on the back foot. Look at Bessie. Picks this ball up nicely. It's this last offload. Finds the hands on Goro. She still had some work to do, but she just had too much speed to burn. And now Masada are in and have a kick to come.
Kick is good as well, so that closes the gap right up again. 17 points to 14. It is Matakesi just with their noses in front.
Oh, 7's has absolutely everything in it. Speed, power. And Goro, she just shows she's got this in spades against a formidable side like Matakesi.
Jamie Colossi out there for Matakesi. Wiping rain out of their eyes. This is a brilliant final, as we expected from these two teams. Restart doesn't go 10 metres, but Matakesi play at it, and they do play on. Davis, ball rolls along the ground. The handling is really difficult. Watherston, she had a great tournament. Olive Watherston, and a penalty for Matakesi. Tap and go Davis. Justine McGregor out there now with her as well. Gets rid of one. Can't quite slip the second defender, but lays it back neatly. Rounded upon though. Good defence from Mount Masada. Oh, and a bit of push and shove between a couple of players. They all stood and watched, and Justine McGregor took it upon herself to go through the gap. There was a bit going on in back play, but Justine McGregor played on for a critical try.
There was so much happening in the ruck just here. Players being shrugged off, a little bit of complacency. Mount Masada caught sleeping so close to their own ruck, and McGregor exploits it. Such an exciting opportunity for Matakesi to be here in their first McDonald's Coral Coast 7's.
Miriani Rongosau was the one who got absolutely cleaned out in there and was appealing to the referee. It opened up the gap, and now Maya Davis converts as well. And Matakesi go back out, 24-14.
Looked like there was just so much going on then. Even Kelsey looked like she didn't even know where the ball is, turning around in a circle, and before she knew it, Justine McGregor took care of business for her side to ensure they keep the lead.
I'm sure she was pleased, Kelsey Tanetti, not knowing what's going on and seeing a teammate streaking up the other end of the field. So back out to 10 points now. Mount Masada need to be next to score. Oh, good hands, just about. It's still there for Mount Masada. Knows it knocked down by Matakesi, who are going to go down to 6. Colossi to the sin bin.
These conditions are making it especially hard to try and control that ball. But I love that both sides aren't really conforming to this weather. They're just playing the way that they want to.
Almost through the middle. Look at the strength of Balecki looking for the runners to come. It's going to be towed ahead, but just breaks down. There was a knock on and they're lost forward. Ani Balecki really standing out for Mount Masada.
Balecki to me has just been so impressive throughout this whole tournament, both defensively and in attack. She is just so much for the opposition to contain. Look at this big leg drive. She's able to just pop that ball up nicely, and it was available to chase it through, but it's all gone.
Siren's gone. Matakesi on track for victory here. Mount Masada could be out of time. Tap and go from Mount Masada. One last chance for them to strike forward. Vutu gets away. Oh, how's the footwork? Filthy feet for Mediana Rongosau. A great finish from Mount Masada. Might be too little too late.
Unfortunately, it is for them. But I love this last play. Showing a bit of flair. Looking at Veronese. She's able to attract two defenders. But Mariani puts on some filthy footwork and beats Matakesi to score right beneath the post.
Navina Fulvuru with the kick, which just stays away. And the full-time whistle goes, and it's Matakesi thrilled with their first ever win, their first ever overseas trip for the women's team. Take the title despite this final score from Meriani Rongosau. It's Matakesi, title winners in the women's competition. They win the Women's Cup. Matakesi 24, Mount Masada 19.